Good morning, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters here on YouTube. Those who follow my Facebook channel on the Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, and those who follow my TikToks, short reels under APCS. How's everybody doing this morning? I know I'm going real early in the morning now. Kind of dozed off and slept most of the night. I woke up around 2:30. Doing this spiritual live here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Everybody's probably asleep by now, but I will continue to do this live. I don't know if y'all seen the short reel I created where I'm walking by the DDN that's getting hit by ultraviolet rays on my groups. I placed a picture of it, how it's got different looks. One where it's looking right at me with its mouth open. Another one is looking towards the camera or the cell phone, where it's got like a tongue sticking out of some sort, but it's something that's into somebody form. I placed that in my group, Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, Positive Spiritualist, and other groups that I share my photos and videos. I don't know if y'all seen it, but I got to hear what I'm going to do is create another one with probably a closer look at it, so y'all can see what I'm talking about, how they can manifest right beside us. You know, when your senses get triggered, you get the goosebumps and your hair stand up. Most likely there's something right there by you. You just can't see it. But after so many investigations, DJ Demonic, what I know about giants, what are you talking about? The Nephilim? The Nephilim, they were created by the Watchers. That's what you're talking about? Or you're talking about people that are they have height, like Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, the Great Khali. No, you figure they're pretty tall. There will be descendants of giants of some sort, right? What I know about the Nephilim is what the giants you're comparing to and talking about. The Nephilim, they're created by the Watchers. The Watchers were supposed to be here on Earth watching over mankind, in which they started looking at the females a certain way, and they decided to change form into the form of man, because they can manifest that way, and they slept with women. The women that slept with them, they manifested, they changed form. Once they did that, they went against God, you know. So the women that slept with the Watchers, some became harpies and the other ones became sirens, or you want to call them mermaids. So once they created the Nephilim, the women that they slept with became harpies. And so harpies are like owls with the face of women, and the sirens, as you know, the ones that lure the the guys on the ships to the land with their voice. It's like kind of hypnotizing, which is what the women became. Their offspring, which of the women or what they created, was the Nephilim. People don't understand that Jesus wasn't giants. They came in different manifestations and different forms. There wasn't just giants. They came in different forms, different shapes, since they were created by the Watchers. So uh, the Nephilim were destroying all of God's creations. You can throw with the Nephilim and the Watchers. You could throw in the harpies, the sirens. You can throw in the what's the name of the other ones? I can't remember the harpies. There's another one that I was thinking of. It's kind of like a fairy of some sort, which they're able to manifest into the form of what they see. They go for, I guess, this. Can't remember the name of it on top of my head right now, but the Nephilim, they were destroying all of God's creations. Uh, it, uh, Animals, cows, um, men, women. He was eating everything, you know. Uh, so God created the flood to destroy the Nephilim, and which He did. All the Nephilim got destroyed. You know, their form, their body got destroyed. So what was left of them was their disembodied spirits, in which we know as demons. The disembodied form that still exists, which I call them DDNs, disembodied demonic Nephilim. They have the capabilities to still manifest because they're demonic. So they can manifest into anything. They can mimic any voices, uh, sounds, and they have the ability to possess as they're demonic. That's what a lot of people deal with. That they don't know what they're dealing with in the paranormal community, in the cryptic community, spiritual community. That's what they're dealing with. That's my mission here is to expose the unseen. You figure, well, how are you going to expose the unseen? Well, sometimes when you have a love foundation, in this group, spiritual cryptid encounters, I'll preach about maintaining a love foundation, which is one of the main important things to do. Uh, what does that mean when I say maintain a love foundation? It means that no matter what the situation is, no matter what you're seeing, no matter what you're hearing, you're going to stay true to your love foundation, stay true to your relationship with Jesus Christ, in which in your love foundation you shouldn't have any hatred, anger, fear, believing in other things that manifest, uh, and you should have forgiveness, because forgiveness is part of love. And once you forgive, well, then the Heavenly Father blesses you with the spiritual gift of discernment, in which He's able to guide you through life and warn you when this DDNs that I speak of, or anything that's in disembodied form, demonic form, whatever you want to call it, it'll warn you when they're around, in which they see you coming because you're maintaining your love foundation. So sometimes they come at you in a negative way. They target you, but your love foundation is strong enough to deflect any kind of spiritual attack from these demonic beings, whether it's a DDN, whether it's in the Legion, or anything that's fallen. So long you maintain the love foundation, and you wash your spiritual openings, you'll be okay. Most of the people that get attacked or possessed is because they're leaving themselves a spiritual opening. It could be that they might have hatred in the heart. They could have unforgiveness, which that's part like a generational curse, can even follow through when there's unforgiveness, hatred, anger. So that's why it's important to forgive, because when you forgive, you cut all the negative ties of anything of the past, from a family member or somebody from a long time ago. You cut that generational tie, and you move forward with your love foundation, by placing Jesus Christ first, and that's what protects us. We get warned through a spiritual gift of discernment. We're able to see spiritually if something is manifested through somebody, or something manifests. We could see its true self. You could see through the manifestation. When I go and investigate, that's why I capture the things that I capture. There's, how should I say, demonic manifestations or beastly manifestations. That's for the reason they take the form, the beastly manifestation, uh, because they do it for the fear factor. They want you to be scared, because if you get scared, guess what? That's a spiritual opening for their attack. Uh, a lot of people think that the Nephilim, they were giants at one time, but they're not giants no more. They're demonic, and they're jealous of you and me. The reason they're jealous because we're created under God's image. But the main reason they're jealous is because we have an opportunity to make it into the kingdom of heaven. So what they do here on earth, and since they're still amongst us, they've been here for many years. So only imagine all the dialect that they know, since they've been around us in disembodied form. They've been here for a long time. Uh, that they're the ones that deceive people, where they don't want you to believe in Jesus Christ. They don't want you to have a love foundation. They're the ones that bond people, and they don't want to free the people that they have bonded, because they're just trying to collect their souls. That's what it's about. They're not going to make it into the kingdom of heaven, because it wasn't created by God. They were created by the watcher. So their fate is already sealed. That's why they're jealous of mankind. That's why they were destroying everything on earth. You could say they're pure evil, right? I mean, you got people that probably say, "Oh, they're just giants. They just need friends." They want to see them as friendly giants. No, they were eating the creations of God. All the eating animals, elephants. You think about it. They were giants eating people. Uh, that's where they get that fee, fi, fo, fum, from. Uh, how you doing, Sky? Uh, but that's what they do. They're amongst us in disembodied form. These are the things they can do. Imagine for Miss Sky, if she's got a boyfriend, or boyfriends, I don't know. Imagine you have a boyfriend or a fiance, and he's the nicest person in the world, with a good heart. And all of a sudden, his demeanor changes, and he's acting like a total a-hole. And you're trying to find out what's going on. He's talked to you a certain way. He's never done that before. So you're trying to figure out what's going on. With the Love Foundation, you'll be able to see right through him, to know that there's something within him. With the spiritual gifts of discernment, you can tell. So what you do is, you say, for example, you're not going to get mad, because arguing is a spiritual opening. What you're going to do is say, "I love you." You might say, "God bless you," or you have to say, "I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name." And whatever's there, cause them to act out of character, it's going to flee from him. And when that happens, he most likely is not going to remember what the argument was about at all, because he was being controlled at the moment to try to see if it can find a spiritual opening on you. Those are some of the how should I say, trials and tribulations that you might go through when you're trying to maintain the Love Foundation, and you're blessed with the spiritual good discernment. You're going to be tested spiritually. No, I'm not. I'm not Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz is a skinny guy. Nick Diaz from California, from Texas. But if I was in my prime, uh, Nick Diaz wouldn't have a chance. That's all I can tell you. Nor his brother. I mean, but they put this up on the lines inside a ring where, you know, in real life, when you get in a real fight, there ain't no referees, there ain't no ring, and you ain't gonna make no money getting in fights like that. It's like they make money, but they don't get paid that much compared to maybe what a boxer gets, a person of a boxer, especially working under Dana White. You know, he don't pay him that much. So this guy's, you know, they take a beating, a pounding, and the effects that they have after fighting the UFC is life changing for them. Too many blows to the head can cause Alzheimer's, uh, damage to the brain, you know, and as they get older, they start feeling all these effects. And where's Dana White to help them? I don't think they even got insurance, but you know, it's all for the entertainment. To them, it's entertainment. Going back to the Nephilim, they're not, I repeat, they're not here in the flesh, but they are here in disembodied form. You can't see them. I did an experiment. I capture them because uh, they manifest because they know what I'm about. They know I have a love foundation. So they dislike me. So they come. It doesn't matter where I go to, anywhere within the wool lines, they manifest. They show themselves, the presence to me. And sometimes they come in numbers, you know. Other things that come in numbers is, of course, the Legion, right? I know one thing is that anything that's fallen, when you bring Jesus Christ into the picture, they flee. I've seen demons flee. I've seen the DDN flee. I've seen the Legion flee. They dislike when you bring Jesus Christ in the picture, especially when you say, I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. Yesterday's investigation, when I went out to the woods, you know, I captured some images. If you want to check out the show reel that I placed, it's me walking by the woods. The ultraviolet rays of the sun breaks the cloak of something that's in spirit form, which means it's kind of invisible. You can't see it with the naked eye. But the ultraviolet rays of the sun breaks their disembodied cloak, that it gives them some kind of color so you'll be able to see them. But they're amongst us spiritually, but they're unseen. Check out the show reel that I posted this morning, I think, or yesterday in the evening. I'm by some tree lines, and you'll see it looking at me. It's got a certain look. As I'm walking by it, it turns its head, and it opens its mouth, and it's got it like a tongue sticking out. The thing is, it's not something that's here in the flesh. It's something that's in disembodied form, or should I say, spirit. When you go investigate, make sure you pray before, and during, if you have to, and after. The reason you pray after, well, during is because you don't want nothing to attach itself to you. So if you have to go into spiritual prayer, pray against them because they're manifesting to. There's many manifesting or showing the presence. You pray You can say the deliverance prayer, or you can say a type binary rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. They'll flee. When you get out of the area that you're investigating, you make sure you say that nothing's allowed to follow you home. Nothing's allowed to attach itself to you. Let them know that so they won't be able to do that. There's certain boundaries, certain measures you have to take when you're out there investigating before, during, and after. After I did the investigation yesterday, I was doing a live that evening, late night live, and I was doing the live, right? The door to my house is right beside me, right here. So as I'm doing the live, I hear somebody tap on my outside door, like that, that, that tap 2 times, like letting me know that they're here, right? So I said, I stopped doing what I was doing, the show, and I said, type on a rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. You're not allowed here. Leave. That's where you have to take authority. So if y'all know people that go and investigate sometimes, and then all of a sudden they have an activity inside their homes, and there's something there, it's most likely that something attached themselves to them. They didn't take the proper measures, and now that their house is being, how should I say, haunted or tormented by those unseen forces out there in the woods. When they go to a house, they have a negative attachment on them. So the things that they will have to do is cleanse their home, spiritually, to get rid of the entity or the demonic being that might be attached to them, and let them know, or can spirit let them know to leave their home, that they're not welcome there, so the activity that they're having can stop. That's why I understand some of the shows on TV. The guy with the bifocal glasses that's always screaming, he's always challenging demons. That's something that you don't do. And he does it on the show. And that's like, I'm going to be straight up with this, plain stupid. And I believe all that is directed by some idiots that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I believe it's staged. Maybe there's not even nothing happening where they're at. I believe all that is staged, because I know one thing. If you're surrounded by DDN or something demonic, and you're not spiritual ready, and you're not using Jesus Christ to fight them, and he's challenging them, he's going to get demonized. He's going to get spiritually attacked in reality. So I'm thinking that this locations they go to, they're not really as haunted as they say they are. Because trust me, you don't challenge something if you're not spiritual ready. And that's one thing you don't do, is challenge. The only thing you're supposed to do is really defend yourself spiritually, by not allowing the negativity. So when somebody's challenging a demon, a spirit, or whatever is in the areas that they're investigating, it's kind of like they're leaving themselves opening for a spiritual attack, or possibly being possessed. So I see a lot of the shows on TV that I stopped watching, because I don't see anything good out of it. Well, when they're running around scared, they're running scared. That's another thing you don't do, because fear is a spiritual opening. We see it happen all the time, right? Where they're running scared, or somebody's acting a certain way. They're trying to act like they're possessed or something, or they have a unclean spirit on them. It's because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Bottom line, or they have some kind of spiritual opening. They shouldn't even be doing that in the first place. But I see a lot of faults, you know, with these individuals. I call it the drama queen show, because that's all it is about, is drama. And like I said, it's a stage set, and it's all just for the viewers. And the people that follow suit of what they're doing, they're basically getting set up for failure, because the spiritual opening they're showing is be afraid, because that's what they do. Uh, Another spiritual opening is when they start challenging things and they're not ready for it spiritually to handle something. That's a no-no. You don't challenge anything, especially if you're not being guided by the Heavenly Father. And it's not a challenge when you do settle a spiritual uh, battle. It's through Jesus Christ. It's never about the I thing. So that's why I said the guy is full of crap. I mean, straight up, you know, he's full of crap. And he's setting up his viewers for failure, you know. He wouldn't last in the areas that I go to. I'm going to be honest with you. Him and his crew, the way they are, they wouldn't last there. They would easily be spiritually attacked because they're not ready for what's in Central Texas. Uh, the only thing they're ready is what's staged, because that's what I see, that those shows are staged and they do it for the viewership, and they teach everything the wrong way. You don't need all this fancy equipment or anything like that to be able to find out what's around you. When you're using all this equipment to make noises and all this stuff, that's crap. Uh, because if you truly have the spiritual ability through the spiritual gift discernment, you don't need that. Look at my short reels. I don't need no equipment to capture something. I'm capturing things during the broad daylight through my spiritual senses. I don't need equipment to speak to me, because I can hear them perfectly when they're talking in disembodied voice. I'm just being truthful about some of the shows on TV. They're ridiculous, man. They wouldn't they wouldn't know the left from the right to the areas. I could take them to two locations that I've been to, and they would easily get spiritually targeted in those areas. Because that's one thing, you can fool the people. Those shows, they can fool the people, but they can't fool what's in this body form or in spirit, because they know what's within the person. They know if those people are legit, spiritually legit, and they know if they're not spiritually legit, if they have spiritual openings, and they will attack. I'm just letting you know. That's why I stopped watching a lot of shows from TV, because I've seen uh, a lot of it's kind of like they want you to believe a certain way, but at the same time, it's setting you up for failure. Like I said, when you hear the guys running around all scared, that's the one thing you're not supposed to do, is be afraid. Especially when you have a love foundation and have Jesus Christ. It's the enemy that fears you because you have Jesus Christ with you. What I see is people that lack faith, that they're believing in other things, or I've seen shows where they want to call a medium or a psychic and all this crap, when those are nothing. When you have Jesus Christ to give you, bless you with the spiritual gift of discernment, that's stronger than anything like that. It's an automatic, but you have to have a love foundation and believe in Him, believe in Jesus Christ. He'll bless you. You can't be afraid. That's what they do. Fear is a spiritual opening. That's why they manifest the way they do, for the fear factor, a spiritual opening. Or they start believing in what they're seeing. That's another spiritual opening. Any manifestation that they take, that's a spiritual opening. And another thing you don't do is When I see people say, this for, I kept this for my little museum because this thing is haunted. They have a doll or a something that's haunted. I think that's a bunch of crap. Uh, I mean, there is things that can be haunted, but at the same time, when you're cleansing a home, right? And there's a lot of things within the home, and there's an unclean spirit is hiding in different locations. That's why you cleanse the home. When you cleanse the home, then everything that's in the house is cleansed also. Items are cleansed. So they can be no haunting, or the unclean spirit can attach itself to anything. You know, if we can pray against somebody that's being demonized or has an unclean spirit on them, and we send that unclean spirit out of them, right? We can do the same thing if there's an item that has an attachment, that we command whatever's there to leave the item, and he has to flee. No difference when we cleanse a person, right? I see a lot of things on TV that is just doesn't make sense to me. It's kind of like this guys give the things that are around them power. They're giving them power, and then they get all the viewers that they get, try to get them to be afraid, like with them. Which is a spiritual opening, but I believe it's all staged. I think one time in one of their shows, I think it was that one. I think it was on Ghost Hunters where they said they seen a dark shadow running. It was a guy. It was a guy that was had a black something black on him, and you could see the tennis shoe underneath the dark shadow. I was like, man, what is that? A tennis shoe? And when I looked, you could see the brown pants and the white tennis shoe underneath, where supposedly is a dark shadow running. I believe it was an episode on Ghost Hunters where they're investigating a prison. They say they seen a dark shadow, but there was no dark shadow there. I'm not able to see any comments, so let me check my comment section here. Here we go. Oh man, sorry about that, guys. I didn't even know there was people talking to me. How you doing, Alex? Let me go back on the comments. Uh, uh, Jacqueline Finley, Sky, Luke, Springthorpe, uh, Hector, Awesome Man, DJ, Alex Wright. How you doing, brother? Terrell Davis. Luisa Barca. Got brother Alex again there. Yeah, it you know where it was gonna go. We just made 2 taps, but it was around the time frame, So I was already ready to be. I rebuked it anyways. It didn't matter to me. It was 1 tap, 2 taps. A tap's a tap, and I rebuked it in Jesus Christ's name. How you doing, brother Al, sister Delina, brother Brandon? I'm glad that you're alcohol free, brother Brandon. No, brother Brandon, I just couldn't see the messages, but I see your comment. Oh, you're out. So you're out. Let me get your Rio out of here. I just couldn't see the comments. I'm seeing the comments now, so I'm going over the comments. I couldn't see that he was even speaking or saying something to me. And let me continue to read some of these comments here. We got another troll here. Bye bye, troll. I sent the troll out. Now I can see the comments, y'all. I seen like 3 or 4 comments, and then it stopped commenting, and I thought that but nobody was saying nothing. But I'm seeing the comments now. I'll put a gamer see out. What kind of pride are you celebrating there, Chloe? Where? Pride Month? I don't understand. Pride of work? Pride months. I don't know. Diversity. Yeah, I just go with the flow of things. Actually, I don't really celebrate too many things. Sometimes I never really celebrated like Christmas nor the holidays. So I just take it day by day, like it's a regular day. You know, lesbian people. It's Pride for a month for LGBTQ. What is that? LGBTQ. Uh, LGBT, is that with some lesbian people? Do you know what the rainbow represents? Do you know what the rainbow represents? What it really represents? Whoever's here tuning in. Well, if you don't know, I will let you know what the rainbow truly represents. It was a time where, with the God flooded the earth and destroyed a lot of things in earth. Yeah, his main reason to flood the earth was to destroy the Nephilim. So he promised mankind that the rainbow symbolized that he will not destroy, he will not cause another flood to destroy the earth that way. Let me see. Yes, exactly. That's what it stands for. I'm letting you know that's what it truly stands for. A rainbow uh, stands for. Yeah. Well, since we're talking about rainbows, uh, my latest short reel, brother and sisters. For those that wonder, for those that say there's no God, uh, they don't believe in Jesus Christ because maybe they live in a certain way, right? And it's going against what's written in the Bible. Well, in spite of that, uh, I have a short reel that I created yesterday when I went on an investigation, that the ultraviolet rays of the sun, which is the where a rainbow comes from, right? Uh, I have where it uncloaked a DDN, or should I say something that's in disembodied form of spirit. Check it out, man. Just to let you know, we all can be living life a certain way, but the life that we're living a certain way, at the end, it's all about our spirit, what's within us. This is sinful. The flesh is sinful, in which nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect here in this world. We're all equal. But it's about what's in their spirit. And the things that are around us, they know. They know what it is about. And their goal, I'm talking about What was destroyed in the flood? The Nephilim. They got destroyed, so they became disembodied, in which we know as demons. That's why I call them the DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim. They know what's at stake. They know what it's about. So they're not gonna interfere in your life if they already got you. You know, and they don't want you to awaken. You know, so for those that are living in sin or living a certain way, they got you where they want you. It's when you awaken. That's why I created spiritual encrypted encounters. It's to awaken my brothers and sisters spiritually, so they can know that they have to protect their spirit, because that's what it's about. Is our spirit. From where we're born till we go. Did we do the proper things for our spirits to be able to ascend to make it into the kingdom of heaven? Because the flesh goes, but the spirit continues to live. And that's what they seek, because their flesh got destroyed. They're just in a disembodied form. So they have the abilities to possess people. They got the ability to bomb people. So people can mislead people a certain way for them to gain full control of the people that they're misleading. So they can continue to bond them. And it's like for them, it's a win-win situation, because it will be a soul to collect. But check out the short reel. I have nothing against anybody, like I said, nobody's perfect. I just want people to understand that there is things out there or within our reality that are amongst us. Those are the ones that cause the chaos and division within the world. And they don't want people to awaken spiritually. They don't want people to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. They want people to continue to be on the path that they're on. Because if they already are bonding them and have control of them, then they got them where they want to have them. Let me read some of these comments here real quick. Yeah, Corner the Cobb is present here. That's all he does. Is just interferes in the live feeds. Let me read some of his comments here. And there's Corner the Cobb again. He's the one that comes out with those comments, because he expects, you know, me. I know what's written within the Bible, and I'm not gonna lie to somebody, that, I'm gonna tell somebody straight up, you're living in sin. What does the Bible say? But spiritually, they're living in sin. There's only two genders, male and female. I don't think people are born that way. What happens is there's negative seeds that are planted in their life that makes them go that route, that corrupts their passageway in life, those negative seeds that are planted. And if they have nobody with good supervision to guide them, then they're literally set up for failure. And the only way they're going to be able to get out of it, I have friends that are lesbians, and I know guys that are gay, but they know. I speak to them. I try to. When it comes to that, some of these people, they're being bonded, man, by they're being bonded. So I don't hate anybody of whatever they're affiliated with. I hate nobody because we're not supposed to hate. They're still children of God. It's just sometimes there's negative seeds that are planted, and maybe one day they'll awaken. And when they do awaken, then they'll understand. I had a friend, two lesbian friends that used to work with me. I used to work at Walmart. I was an order filler, and the one that was, I guess, the male in the relationship, she was always looking at. They're working in the docks, and every time I take my load over there, you know, one of them would always say hi. I guess the one that was a female was say hi to her, and then the other one would start arguing with her. You know, so then one day I told her, look, so I'm a single parent. I have a son I'm taking care of. So I'm not interested in your girlfriend. I'm just a friendly guy, and I say guy hi to people. And then they were cool, then she was cool with me. Then I left the job, and a couple of years later passed by, and I ran into her at a grocery store called the HEB, the one that was the male figure, right, in the relationship, or the man. This is before they were allowing gays to get married at all. Uh, Because they were getting married under not God's eyes, but they were getting married through the courts. Uh, I had ran into her, and she was crying. And I asked what happened. So, well, she had, that her girlfriend had gotten injured at work, and something had happened to her leg, and she had to go to rehab. So what she was doing rehab, they have doctors in rehab, and they asked her a question because they seen the girlfriend there with her, and they took her to her room. They said that she was supposed to be there for 2 weeks under their guidance or protection. And then they started asking her questions, about the relationship and all this stuff. But then the the the, the girl said that she was confused, you know, that she was confused about the relationship, even though they've been together for 10 years, that she was confused, that she didn't know if she was doing right or not, you know. So since she was under care of those people from the rehab, then they told the girl, that the one that was with her for 10 years, this is before there was any marriages of any kind of sort, uh, they told her that she couldn't go and see her. Then she really had like a breakdown, that she was really confused of what she wanted to be, who, if she even wanted to be with her, that made the parents sign, because she was having like a mental breakdown. So then the parents got involved, and she was crying because it said that they don't allow her to see her at all, you know. So, basically what I'm saying is this, that sometimes the spirit is going to guide you the right direction, right? I mean, I feel sorry, but at the same time, when the Holy Spirit intervenes, and we all have a conscience, we all know right from wrong. Something happened to her in that nature, that they didn't want to be with her no more. That she decided to be what she was, her gender, a female, you know. But that's what happened. The only thing I told the one that was the guy is like, I'm sorry, you're going through this. I'll keep y'all in prayer. That's all I said to her. But it happened that way. No, they're being targeted that way. You know, we can think it doesn't even have to be about gays. You know, you got other people that are being bonded. You got prostitutes that they're living in sin. That they're being spiritually bonded. You got all this porn things. They're acts that are against God. You know, some of the acts that they do there, it's kind of like the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, abominations. So, you know, we look at a lot of things. So there's still a lot of things that are not good. You know, that it doesn't have to be just about the LGBT. You got freaking serial killers. You got pedophile rings. And you got sick people like corn in the cob from OKC to worry about. That you don't know what he's going to do with a corn in the cob. Well, we already know who's going to win it. The Celtics. Not as the referees help out Dallas when they go to Dallas and they win two and tie up the series. Normally, it's the person that has a home court advantage. You know, all that is staged, right? All the sports, whether it's NBA, football, baseball, all that's staged, man. They already know who's going to win before before they even win. Well, I was at a carnival, and there was a little carnival they had here. Like three, I went to it 3 days ago on a Saturday, and there was some little corn on the cobs, like what do you call it, stuffed animals. You know, but you have to win it by getting something. And I was gonna try to win one so I can put it on the live, and but I said, that's I don't want to do that. I think the Celtics are gonna take it, man. But don't be surprised that the Dallas is gonna tie it up, and it's gonna go all 7 games because they do it for the dinero, man, for the money. Win or lose, both teams are gonna um, get paid a lot of money just for being in the finals. Yeah, corner the cob is just corner the cob, you know. Thank you all for tuning in here today. You know, like I said, I have nothing against nobody, uh, against anybody. You know, it's just I used to be at one point in time in my life living a certain way, not that I was have flaws, spiritual flaws when I was younger. What I had was vengeance, man. I have vengeance. I'm gonna share a story with y'all, brothers and sisters, so y'all can see where I'm coming from. The vengeance that I had was for this guy that my dad and my mother were in a prayer group, and there was this guy that they said they had to go pray for because every time he closed his eyes, uh, he would see a man on a black horse. So he would start fighting the man on the black horse. But who he was really fighting was himself. He was literally punching himself. He was an ex Vietnam guy, or he might have been in the Korean War, one of the two. Uh, so they went to go pray for him, and they supposedly got rid of the demon or unclean spirit that was causing him to beat himself up, literally punching himself. So that man became friends with my mother and father, and he became a member of the church. His wife had gotten cancer, and he was sick. So they volunteered me and my brother to cut their grass. They needed somebody to cut the grass because they were sick. So uh, me and my brother were gonna go, but my brother didn't want to go. So I said, "Don't worry about it, bro. I got it. It's not that big of a yard. It's a small yard." So I went to go cut it, and they had some goats in the back where I had to clean the corral, from the poop, and I had to feed the animals, the goats that he had in the corral. While I was doing all this, I could see him laying on his bed. Uh, all I remember is I heard the gate open, and he put a lock on the gate, and he's looking at me and he's smiling. And I was like, how did he get from being ill in bed and he's here in the corral? I thought he was sick. He grabs a machete that was on the corner pole of the corral, and he starts swinging it. He's swinging it and he's looking at me, and he starts laughing. And I said, what's so funny? And I'm looking at myself to maybe I got something on me or something, and he's just laughing. And he says to me, he's saying, I tricked him. He said, I tricked him. And it's like, what do you mean you tricked him? And I said his name, and he said, that's not my name. And then he said that he was a Santanista. Santanista is a Satanist. And he was laughing. So he started swinging the machete. And you could hear where the wind was. He was swinging so hard, you could hear. Whoosh, whoosh. He was making the noise with the wind. And he looked at me and he said that he could kill me. There's nothing that anybody can do about it. So he had me cornered in the corral, and he was coming at me with a machete. And I was only in 5th grade, so I was 10 years old when he did this. He was coming at me with a machete, and I felt something spiritually. And I told him, I have a message for you. And he stopped swinging the machete, and he's looked at me, and he said, what's the message? I told him, God told me to tell you, you be taking another step, try to take another step, that your life here on earth is over. He just gave me this crazy grin, and he tried to move forward. He couldn't move forward. He tried to lift the machete. He couldn't lift the machete. It's kind of like his body was frozen. He could not move. So I was able to climb over the corral, and he can't turn his head or nothing. He's like, God has full control of him. And the only thing that he could move was his mouth. And he said, go tell your parents what happened here. They're not going to believe you. So I had to walk, like 10 blocks home. I made it home. I told my parents what happened. They got me back in the station wagon. We went over there to his house. When we got to his house, he came from the front door, walking downstairs, and he had a smile on his face. And he's like, hey, what's going on? I said, is it true what he's telling me, that you did this with a machete and all this stuff? And he said, you know how kids are. He was a policeman. He said, you know how kids are. They like to lie a lot. And he was laughing. But after that, it's kind of like, okay, I was 10. From there on out till I turned 18, he was always messing with me. Like, this is things that he would tell me. He would tell me, you're just a kid. You're just a kid. You ain't nobody. He's always trying to downgrade me. You're nobody. You're never gonna amount to nothing. He would cuss at me like if my parents wasn't around. He'll be cussing at me, but because he knew, he was pissed off because he knew that the Heavenly Father was protecting me, that he couldn't do nothing to me because the Heavenly Father was protecting me. And I would tell my parents that I don't like him because of what he tried to do in the past. And I tell him, just keep him away from me and we good. It's like he was a policeman, so he would come to our house, like if my parents wasn't around, and he would just start cussing at me, you know, for no reason. And you're like, you're just a kid. And I'll say, you know what? There's going to be a time that I'm not a kid. When that time comes, everything that you're saying, everything that you've done to me, we're going to settle it. I'm going to settle it with you like a man. You might be older, but once I become a man, we're going to settle it. Because I'm writing everything down that you're saying, that you're doing, what you did. We're going to settle it as a man. So I left, just growing up. I could be coming from a track meet late at night, 1:30. I will have to walk home. And the cop cars, the people, the other dirty cops, they're looking at me. They have their guns out, going like this, or they point at me and go like this, like threatening me. So in which I had a lot of anger and hatred, right? But then when I lost my mother and all that, I blamed that guy because I believe he said he was a Satanist. I remember one evening, before I joined the military, I was mad and I wanted to take him out. You know, vengeance or having hatred in your heart is not good. That I don't know. All I remember is I grabbed my mother's butcher knife and I was gonna go leave the house. My sister tried to stop me. I picked him up with one in each arm and I threw him off of me. It's kind of like had a lot of rage and anger and other things, I guess, had attached itself to me. I remember going to his house. It was dark. I went to that window where he lay down and I was looking at him. He was asleep. He had the lamp on and he was asleep. And I was right by this window. All I had to do, brothers and sisters, because the glass window was up. The only thing that was there was a screen window. So all I had to do is rip the screen window out and go at it and take him out, right? So as I was gonna do that, guess what happened to me? As I attempted to take this man's life for doing all the things he did wrong to me. As I was gonna pick up the knife and go at him, I couldn't move. I was frozen. I could not move. It's kind of like God was telling me that's a sin, right? So I was frozen. I couldn't move till I was able to break free, and I just left. But my intentions were, vengeance is not good. It was to take this man's life, and wish I could have, but I could not move because the Heavenly Father was not letting me do that action. So when I made a stop at this church, I'm sitting by this church, and when they say there's a female that wields the scales of the balance, I heard a woman crying, and I seen there was a church, and there was a link fence by the woods. The woman was crying, and she was just looking at me, and she was just crying because I believe she was the one that handles the things of the balance. After that, my cousin and my sister showed up there, and then they got me. I wasn't feeling good because it felt like something tried to take control over me. Because I had a lot of hatred and anger. So when I made it home, we made it to the house. Uh, I was in my backyard and I could hear like a bell of a goat, and it started getting closer and closer and closer. So I went inside the house because it was freaked out what I was hearing. When I went inside the house, then all of a sudden, as soon as I closed the door, there's loud pounding in front of the house. Boom, boom, boom. I'm talking about so hard of a pounding that the walls were trembling. The house was shaking. That strong of a pound. So I went into prayer and started praying, and I said, I'm not afraid, and I started praying to Jesus Christ, and everything just cleared out. All I'm saying, brothers and sisters, is that hatred and vengeance is not good. I've been there. Uh, I joined the military, was in the army for about 8 months. Then I went to combat. I was in the battle of Medina Ridge in Operation Desert Storm. I come back. I'm already 19, and I'm stopped at a four-way light, and I see the same guy that was all the same guy that I wanted to take out. I seen him at the stoplight. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him a certain way, and I go like, are you ready? Are you ready to handle business? I'm a man now. I'm not a kid no more. I'm a man. And this guy gets so scared that I didn't even say nothing to him. I just went like this. He did a 360 in his 1985 Bronco. It was black and gray, and he sped away from me. He didn't want to handle things like a man. He would talk a big game. I told him that eventually I was going to become a man. Uh, all I know is, that's the person I had to forgive. When I was going through everything in Elms Grove, I had to forgive that guy. I had to get rid of the vengeance, of the anger that I had toward that person. And I forgave him. I had to forgive him. Because unforgiveness is a spiritual opening. You can get demonized, possessed by having so much anger and hatred in you. I'm just letting you know why it's important to forgive. The reason I forgave him is because when I followed the shadow figure away from my home, and he started going up towards the trees. If you all haven't seen This Woods, Terror in the Woods, Season 3, Episode 2, Something is Out There. There's a part in the show where there's something going up in the air and it's laughing. But the laugh was the same laugh how he was laughing that day when he was swinging the machete at me. So I recognized the laugh and I said, oh. So I made a phone call home, and I talked to my aunt, hey, is so-and-so still alive? They're like, no, he's been dead for about 3 years. So that's when I knew I had to forgive him. And I did that. I forgave him. But yeah, he couldn't find me as a man, then he wanted to come fight me against me in spirit form. He was a Santanista, so he was like a dark shadow being coming at me. I said, okay. So I forgave him. Then, like I said, if he's affiliated through the Santanista, because he was a warlock, or a witch or whatever, then I just tie bind and rebuke him in Jesus Christ's name. That's crazy. He didn't want to fight as a man. Then he would come at me while he's dead and try to attack me spiritually as a dark shadow being. So I tied by and rebuked him in Jesus Christ's name. He didn't turn into a DDN, but because he was a Satanist, that when his soul is already sold, right? So he's affiliated with the darkness, which it could be like a shapeshifter, skinwalker. They have the ability to manifest a certain way, into dark shadow beings. And that's how he came at me. It's like, oh, that's the fight that you wanted to fight. Come at me spiritually. So, when I said identify yourself, he wouldn't say his name, but he laughed. When he laughed, I recognized the laugh. And there's no way that whatever was there knew the laugh, because this guy lived 6 hours away from where I live. He turned into he literally looked like when you think about Jack the Ripper, or they talk about the Dark Cat Man, kind of like that, because he was a Satanist. But I tied by the rebuke him in Jesus Christ's name and sent him on his merry way, especially when I forgave him. I took, because it was a bad moment, right? A bad moment, a lot of bad moments that I had. I wanted to take this guy out. So the only way to stop something that way is to forgive and ask for forgiveness for what you try to do, so you can cut those negative ties, so there won't be no connection between you and that spirit, right? So that's what I did. Once I did that, that's the last time I ever seen him. Thank you, Melissa. How you doing? Yeah, I forget the guy. He's just he was a veteran also, so I don't know what he's seen in combat, but when he said he was a Santanista, that's telling me he's a Satanist, which is like a warlock. That's what he chose to do. Everybody chooses their own path. So, so he couldn't settle it with me like a man, and he said, okay, I'm gonna go mess with this guy while I'm dead. Well, guess what? No, no, senor. I tie binary rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. I forgive you. Bye bye. I sent him on his merry way to his destination of where he's going. And, yes, to the abyss. So I didn't have to dirty my hands. I did not have to do anything to the guy. Uh, it just gotta wait on other time, on time. Time. There's always a karma always comes back a way around one way or the other. You know. Uh, so I'm glad that once I forgave him, it's like I feel so different. All the hatred and anger just lifted off of me. Uh, I felt love. I felt awakened spiritually. That when I seen a dark shadow, or seen the the werewolf, dogman, or Bigfoot, or dear woman, that I was inferring them, because I knew that I had love in my heart. I knew that I had Jesus Christ in my heart. That's when I knew that He had blessed me with a spiritual gift of discernment by forgiving my worst enemy, right? Uh, in true forgiveness. That I don't even think about the guy. I can share the stories of what happened, but I don't think of him in a negative way. Everybody's got some kind of spiritual openness about what path that they wanna be on. Man, but that feeling of love, oh my God, it's so amazing. You put it in a scale. You put vengeance, hatred, anger, unforgiveness on a scale, and you could put love, spiritual gifts of discernment, prayers of healing, miracles on one. The one that I'm speaking about outweighs the other one big time. Uh, Big time. It's a whole different way of being. That's okay, Sister Melissa. Thank you for joining. Everybody's welcome here. Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. We talk about all topics. I'm just sharing something that was when I was younger. Man, that was hurting me big time. I could feel the pain right here. Is, man. Then you don't know at the time when you're young, 16, 17. You don't know what's going to happen. You're trying to you lose the people that are in charge of you, right? Through domestic violence. You lose your mother, your father's gone, so the only ones that left is you and your brothers and sisters. Somebody got to step up in order for people to survive, right? And it was me that had to step up. I wish I did. And all my brothers and sisters are well. You know, when I joined the military, I moved everybody out of that little town and brought them up to Central Texas. You know, I have my youngest brother and sister. My brother is a principal. He, you know, very bright, very smart. My sister, she's a dental assistant to the doctor. So you know, they're all doing good. Uh, I let go of a lot of things, but I know that in the long run, God is gonna pay me back up way more. He's already paying me back to the spiritual good discernment. So I'm not worried about what I could have done. You know, I let go of a scholarship to Shriner College in Kerrville, Texas, for cross country. I let go of believe it or not, the Catholic priest wanted me to be a priest when I was 17. Uh, I asked them, can y'all take care of my brother and sister? They say no, so I can be a priest. No, I had to take care of my brothers and sisters. I let go of a lot of things. Uh, then after everybody started going separate ways, I joined the military. Then while I was in the military, I got everybody out of there. So I live in Texas. I lived in Plano, Texas for about a year. Near, I can't remember the name of the mall, some Creek Mall that was over there. There was some apartment complex, but I used to live in Plano, Texas. That's where I joined the military. Well, a lot of the spirits that are here in Texas, there's been a lot of wars in Texas, right? Uh, the Mexico, the Alamo, uh, and then of course a lot of native wars. Uh, Here in Central Texas is about the Tonkawans, the Tonkawa. The Tonkawas, they call them dirty Indians. They didn't like agriculture. They were hunters. Uh, at one point in time, a long time ago. There used to be buffalo here in Central Texas. So these Indians, they knew how to hunt. What they would do is wait for the Indian or for the deer to get near the edges of the creeks or the ridges, and then they just push them off. They push them off, they break their legs so they can move, then they go and attack the body. And that's some way, that's how they fought. They would push people. And another thing about them is they were cannibalistic. Cannibalistic. They would eat the body parts of people. Which we know what happens, right? Where I'm getting with this, uh, are cannibalistic. You know what that eats flesh. What do they become? And you hear about the Wendigo, right? But shapeshifter, skinwalker, Wendigo. You know, that's their abilities because they ate human flesh. There's a lot of water spirits. There's a lot of limestone in Texas, Central Texas especially, which limestone, where there's limestone, there's paranormal activity. Especially, you know, when the sun energizes the limestone, they start catching all kinds of paranormal activity. If people don't know that, limestone is in the creeks, in the lakes, and on the land sometimes. You know, that's why there's so much paranormal activity in certain locations. How you doing, Ophelia? Alexander, how you doing? Yeah, of course, a water source is sends that kind of energy. Then you have a lot of power lines now that are set up. You got the towers for the phones that send out some kind of energy. So there's a lot of ways that this unseen spirits can gain energy from to manifest. Yes. I don't I don't do drugs. Friends when I was growing up, they would smoke weed, but they would burn my eyes. Like when they were smoking, it's like I don't like it, so I don't do drugs. I never done drugs. Even now, I just handle. I don't like them. I don't like drugs. I seen the effects that it would do to my friends. I had friends that would smoke weed. Some that would do cocaine when I was growing up, and there's those are spiritual openings. I remember the one of my friends got possessed while he was smoking weed. He started talking a different language, and he started fighting with his brothers. Next thing you know, the unclean spirit started jumping to all the brothers, and they all were possessed, and they were just fighting, beating each other up. When they were doing this, started saying the Our Father. As I was saying the Our Father, the unclean spirit or the demon left, and they just fell to the ground, and they were like they didn't know what happened. And I was telling them what happened, how they got possessed and stuff like that. Then it happened to them another time somewhere else. Yeah, people make excuses just to take drugs. I don't believe in that. In the drugs, taking any kind of drugs to solve a medical or to something medical or to solve uh, something that flashbacks from the past or something. The best way to handle something is by being yourself. When you do drugs, it's really hindering you from being you. You know, but there's people that they get start getting addicted to the drugs, so they want to make an excuse just to do the drugs. Sorry, home moment. I did not take anything dealing with COVID because I felt that the COVID was bullshit. That it was the government trying to inject the people with COVID to kill people as a form of genocide. I never took the COVID shot, just like I've never taken the swine flu shot. Sorry, talking to the wrong guy. So you see, you got offended because I was talking about that I don't do marijuana. That's why you throw the COVID. I don't do COVID or don't do marijuana. I feel the same for both of them. Marijuana slows down, slows your thinking down, it slows your motion to react to something. For example, if you're in a car accident where you're smoking marijuana, you're not going to be able to react to it, and it's too late for you. You'll be gone because you're not able to react. You're in a slower reaction because of the high you're on. Yeah, I don't take none of that stuff. Nothing dealing. I don't take nothing with COVID. Nothing with. I don't do no drugs. The cure for me would be is Jesus Christ. I'm just here to let you know, Jesus Christ can heal you, heal your ailments. Just gotta have faith and trust in Him. It's kind of like He spoke to me one time when I was in the army. He said, "Tell all your brothers and sisters, how do you expect me to help them if they don't let me in? Tell them to open their doors and windows for me so I can help them, so I can help them and heal them to whatever they're going through." Yeah, I don't believe in all that stuff, man. Anything that the government, as a veteran, I'm a veteran, that they try to give me because it's going to help me for this, I don't take it. For any drug they give you, there's a side effect. Same thing. They have bad side effects. You know, some of these people that take marijuana, smoke marijuana, they have chemicals in them, pesticides in them that can harm them. Just like people that do meth or crack, there's chemicals in there that can really harm them. You know, they're setting themselves up for failure in the long run, in which they'll really be sick later on in life. And it's because they're doing it to themselves. Yeah. No, I'm a veteran. I was in the army. And I do love animals, by the way. Just like I love human beings. But I'm a veteran. I was in the army. I'm just saying that I don't do drugs. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I have nephews that would that smoke weed and stuff like that. That, hey, Unc, you gotta try this. You know, but I said, no, man, I don't need that. I never needed it. So me, I just take whatever problem I have, I take it head on. You know, straight up. If you get, you know, what happens when you start doing drugs, you start getting the urge of it. It changes your demeanor. It changes your personality. That when you don't have the drug in your system, you start becoming an a-hole with people around you, and they notice this because you want to get your next high, right? That's one of the side effects of drugs. It changes your demeanor, changes your character, and the smell of the marijuana on you is not a good smell. It's just a nasty ass smell. Smells like crap. You know, I'm just being honest. The smell on your clothes, you know, and it depends what kind of marijuana you're talking about. Now, do I know about different kinds of marijuanas? Yes. You got old school. You got skunk weed. It's nasty smell. You got pine. You got red bud. Those are the old classics from back in the day, right? Uh, and now they got so many that are mixed with chemicals that have different names for them, in which the side effects or effects are a lot stronger than something that's natural. But just gotta remember that a lot of things, some of these drugs are coming from Mexico, and they will use certain pesticides. So I remember one time some people were buying weed from Mexico, and the weed that they were smoking had chemicals in it, or pesticide, that they started losing skin, nose, ears, because of the side effect of the chemical. So you gotta be careful what you're smoking, man. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, those are the originals. Like I said, I have friends that would do a lot of things, but they respected me and they knew not to offer me anything because no, I was in track, man. I had to keep my body, so I wasn't about that. No, it's just to me, it's a person that thinks that they need marijuana to cope with something is weak-minded to me. You know, when you need when you think you need marijuana and then you use the excuse that you need it because it calms you down. Come on, man. You can calm yourself down. You can hit the weights, go for a run. There's natural things that you can do without putting anything in your system that's going to make you feel better. You're angry, hit the weights. You start having flashbacks or something, go for a run, go for a walk. All this, I need to smoke some weed to calm down. Man, come on, that's just an excuse to do the drug, which is called addiction. Yeah, they're mixing it. The fentanyl is being mixed up with all kinds of shit. Excuse my language. You're putting phenol in marijuana. They're putting the fentanyl in Jello shots. So be careful of where you're buying stuff from. The fentanyl is the new thing that's killing a lot of people right now. No, I just don't like marijuana, and I don't like people that make excuses that they have to smoke every freaking 30 minutes because they have some form of, I ain't gonna say PTSD. They're gonna say they're bipolar or something. They're gonna say they're bipolar, or they're gonna say they got getting some kind of flashbacks just to have the excuse to smoke weed. I'm not the guy to say to say to you, I'm not gonna be that friend that's gonna say to you, oh man, there's nothing wrong with that, buddy. Just give me a hit, because you got friends like that that are just there for you while you have the drugs, but once you don't have it, they're not there. No, I'm going to be the guy that's going to tell you, man, you can do other things besides doing drugs to cure yourself or whatever you're doing. You're angry about something, hit the weights, go for a run. You say you're bipolar, get yourself a punching bag, take it on the punching bag till your body gets tired. Next thing you know, it's gone. There's other solutions before saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do some weed. I need some weed in my system." That's addiction. You can kick the bucket, man. Trust me. I know I have a lot of friends that do a lot of things. I just don't do none of those things. You want to call me anti, or you want me, or you just want to? You can call me truthful. Because I'm just speaking in truth. When I was in track, I would do a lot of running. I would run 20 miles a day. You know, I knew people that was doing weed, cocaine. They were in high school, but just because they were doing it or they were trying to offer, it was up to me. It's you got to have your own will, and I chose not to do nothing like that. That's all right. We're just having a conversation. Yeah, that's what I do. I hit the weights. For my age, I'll be hitting the weights. But I don't. That's the thing is, I don't think about anything because I hit the weights, and it's first in nature for me now that every day I hit the weights. Monday through Friday, I hit the weights. On the weekends, we go dancing. Which is cardio. Uh, that's what I do. Uh, if you can protect, if you can take care of your body, who's going to take it care for you, right? For the guy that was talking about smoking weed, you know, Smoking weed takes out some of your brain cells, man. Smoking weed, any kind of drug, takes out your brain cells. Uh, if you don't protect your body, who's going to protect it for you? You know, I'm just saying. But there's people. It's it's their prerogative, right? It's their prerogative. You know, I'm not here to be to tell you what to do and not to do, right? I'm just letting you know that to me, when somebody says they need some weed in their system, it's just an excuse to get the high. You know, just an excuse. You can get an adrenaline high, working out, going for a run. You can get a high by doing going live like I'm doing right now, talking to my brothers and sisters spiritually, guiding people. There was this guy one time told me, if if you were to do, said he told me that he wanted me to do drugs. I'm doing some marijuana with him. I said, okay, how about this? He bust smoke with you. Would you quit smoking marijuana for 1 week? If I take a puff of that, you're telling me for me to try it. I'll take a puff, but you quit for 1 week. He couldn't do it. So you see, there you go. So you want me to do something, but you can do what I'm asking you. Normally when you wing somebody off of something, they start feeling different in a couple of weeks. They're like, feel more awakened than being all, hey, what's up, man? Uh, what's going on? And they're all mellow and shit because of the weed. They're like this in their eyes. Their shirts smell like marijuana. Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go get a real smoke outside, dude. And then after the smoke, they got the munchies. Hey, you got something to eat? They get the munchies after the weed. Yeah, it becomes an addiction because it's kind of like a person that has coffee. Let's get the subject to something else. Person that has coffee, that needs caffeine in their body. Same thing as an addiction, caffeine. Uh, when I was in the army, man, I would see those guys early in the morning when the supply sergeant would come. He had a big old thing of coffee. They'll be getting in line with the thermals, trying to fill it up with coffee. They'd be fighting with each other in line for coffee, and they fight each other if they don't got no smokes. That's addiction. You know, they have to have it. They have to have it. They have to have it. They don't have it. There's coffee people. When is the supply sergeant coming here? They'd be trembling like this. They're trembling that bad. Oh, there it comes right there. The guys that they need the caffeine, they'd be trembling, literally trembling like this in the mornings. Here comes Sarge. They can't even hold their hands straight because they have the trembles and shit because they need the caffeine in their system. You know, it's like golly. I literally seen guys get in a fight for the last cup of coffee, like in line, get in a fight. They'd be like freaking crazy, man. I don't take no supplements. I'm all natural, man. No supplements at all. Just natural. All that has an effect on you, whether it's now or later on in life, it will affect you. Uh, People that had nicotine fate. When I went out to Saudi Arabia, I didn't smoke, but when I was in Germany, you have a ration card where you can buy liquor or cigarettes. I found out we were being deployed, so I bought the maximum I could buy of cigarettes. I bought like 3 cartons of cigarettes, and I took them with me, even though I didn't smoke them. The reason I did that is because I knew when we went to out there, we were like going through the desert, that there wasn't going to be no stores, there was going to be nothing. It was just going to be the sand and us. That eventually, that people were going to start running out of their supplies, right, of cigarettes and stuff. And exactly what happened. So as they start running out of cigarettes, and they start having nicotine fits, starting to fight against each other and stuff like that. So it lasted like that. I let them stay like that for 2 weeks, and they couldn't take it no more. So I said, hey, who? I got some cigarettes over here. Who wants to get some? You know. So just remember one thing: smoke them very slowly. Don't smoke them all at once, because once you're out, you're out. And I guess you could say I made a little bit of money out there selling packs of cigarettes. Uh, because sometimes it's hard for somebody to kick the bucket, and they can kick kick the bucket automatically. Well, I think it's the not in the coffee, it's in the sugar, that they're putting something in those, not the pure sugar, but the other sugar that's supposed to be being made by something else. That's the one that has the thing that you're talking about. The one that's not real sugar, it's got a thing like poison in it that people are putting in the coffee, that's messing them up. Splenda, it's the sweetener. Yeah, that's it. That's the one that has the poison. Sweet and low, Splendor. Uh, those are the ones that have, yes, they have the poison in it. So I'll suggest to you all, if you're drink coffee, do not put that in your freaking coffee. Put half a thing of sugar or a little bit of sugar. Yeah, that's what's. There's a lot of things. There's stuff that's being put in the meat. You ever gone to the store where you see chicken that's all fat, and you're like, man, I never seen a chicken that fat. They're injecting that chicken with something to make it look big. Uh, McDonald's, it's not even real meat. Something to squeeze and put it on a thing. Not even real meat. Yeah. Another thing. Before, and I'm glad people are here tuning in. Hit the like buttons, y'all, if you're liking the conversation. I'm gonna go old school with y'all. There's a lot of people that get affected, like by asbestos. The pipes and the water pipes that go through the town. They had asbestos in it, in which a lot of people have died because of that. In my hometown, people were getting cancer from that asbestos pipe. They tore down the main water factory and rebuilt it with a new one. But a lot of people died because of the asbestos. Some of the side effects asbestos had, besides the pipe, there was lead in paint that was affecting people also. The white paint back in the day had lead in it, in which what the lead was causing was hallucinations, and people would commit suicide because of the hallucinations. It would affect them that bad. When I was in Germany, in Fort Hood, they tore down our billets, because the billets was made out of asbestos. All the billets were made out of asbestos, where people were hallucinating, and some people were taking their lives due to the fact of the asbestos. Uh, the motor pools, the guards, little shelters that they had out there for the guards, that had asbestos. So there's a lot of things. Imagine the people that work in those mines to get the asbestos. Those people, man, they got infected real bad. Uh, People that work in the fields, the pesticides that they use to for the fields, you get short short term effects, and you have long term effects. Depends uh, how long you're around the pesticide. What the pesticides do, it messes your oxygenation in your brain, in which your brain is not working properly, and but your body, you can get ill, sick, because the oxygen is not sending proper oxygen throughout your body, in which you start having all kinds of ailments, cancer, uh, different things that can happen. But they won't tell you that. You don't hear the news telling you that. You don't hear the news telling you what I'm telling you, uh, because they want to protect those companies. They were doing all those things with the pesticide or the lead, or the, you know, they want to protect those people that do all that. Thank, thank you, Jesus. What time is it here? It's 5:10 where I'm at, here in Central Texas. But yeah, there were soldiers the in those billets where when I first moved in there, the ambulance was always there, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's going on over there?" You see a guy being pulled out in a stretcher. So they found him in his room. I think he tried to commit suicide. I think there were like 5 or 6 people that tried to commit suicide there in the billets. When I first got there to Fort Hood, but then they destroyed all the billets and they rebuilt new ones because they found out that it was the pesticide and the lead. It was a pesticide and lead on the paint that was messing up the soldiers. You know, there is patches you can put on to quit cigarette smoking, and I think certain kind of gum that they can give you that makes you kick the bucket from smoking, but you have to make that attempt to stop smoking. One of the things for the smokers, cancer. Like I said, pesticides. That's in the nicotine, right? Uh, they have to put the pesticides to kill the bugs. I remember when I was in Germany. I mean, Saudi Arabia. They gave us the people from Kuwait. They gave us some cigarettes, and they look like joints. When you open them up, they look like the what do you call it? Zigzags. Man, I got it like that, and I was looking at it. A freaking bugs were coming out of the of what they smoke over there. Bugs. So people were smoking bugs coming out of some kind of whatever it was they were smoking. I was like, hell no. And they were like, I need it, man. I need it. I don't got no nicotine. I said, man, that's got bugs in that. Why are you smoking that shit? They lit it up, smoking them with bugs and all. Little bugs were coming out of there. Yeah. Take take. There's a lot of things as you grow older you have to watch for. You got high blood pressure, diabetes. Uh, Man, what else? Yeah, high blood pressure, diabetes will be the main ones. as you get older. Cholesterol. If you don't take the cholesterol medicine, the cholesterol medicine is given to you, so the blood, if you got grease or it won't clog your arteries. Some people like me, I get all this stuff for free and stuff from my government. So I'm taking all kinds of meds right now as I've gotten older, but I'm still here. Thank Jesus Christ. I have friends that have had heart attacks already. There's some that are not here amongst us no more. But you have to watch out what you eat. I will say to you, for those who have the sweet tooth, as you get older, you can get diabetes. Get it? Diabetes. You even got the name for it. Diabetes. That diabetes can affect your sugar levels also. I mean, it can affect your arteries also. So that's why they give you the diabetic medicine. Yeah, that's some medicine they give you. The reason I'm speaking about it because they got me on that right now. Then there's some people that the medicine won't work on them, so they have to take diabetic shots. Which diabetes, if it goes too low, you're not taking too much of it, you can die. If you're not taking the medicines, then all kinds of the sugars got to get out of your body somewhere. So it might come out through your private area. It might come out through certain locations of your body, behind your ears. If you're eating too many sweets, so I suggest don't eat the sweets. Watch out what you eat. It's just about everything has sugar. Bread, tortillas, rice. Everything has some kind of sugar in it. So you have to be in some kind of certain diet. Yeah. Yeah, you really have to take care of yourself, man. I'm trying my best that I can, but there's times that, I know I'm not supposed to be eating anything sweet. I'll give you an example of that. I know I'm supposed to be eating anything sweet, and here I go. I get a little Milky Way, and I don't want to see the Milky Way in the heavens, so I got this little piece of candy in my pocket. I've been having that for a couple of days. I don't even check my levels of the sugar. Drinking, when you're diabetic, drinking can affect you. So I would suggest to you, for those that are alcoholics, that like to party up, dude. You're diabetic, and you're mixing up, you're taking medicine for being diabetic, and you're drinking liquor or beer, especially beer, it can affect you in a bad way. That your body can go into a coma-like state. It's a deadly combination. Just letting you know. Yeah, it can lower your blood pressure so bad that your body can go into a coma-like state. I had a friend that said his first wife. I said it like that. His first wife, that they were out on a dance. She was diabetic, and she had been drinking, and that's where she died on the dance floor because she was mixing. She had been drinking, and it went too low. That was it. Yeah. Smoking gives you cancer, different kinds of cancers, cancer of the throat, cancer of the mouth, cancer throughout your body. My grandfather used to be He's already old. He's like, don't be doing this. Be drinking his beer. Don't be doing this. He'd be telling me, and I would say to myself, I was just a kid, like 3 years, 4 years old, 5 years old. He said, don't be doing this, and he'd be eating a steak or a medium rare steak. He said, don't be doing this. It's bad for you. Then, like 2 months later, uh, that was it. He had a massive heart attack. He was one of those guys that didn't believe in going into the doctors. He was playing with his friend. They were wrestling, and then he had a massive heart attack, and that was it. It was the last time I see my grandfather. But he told me, don't be doing this, don't be, and I remember what he told me not to be doing, and I keep it to heart. Maybe in his own kind of way for him, he's saying it's too late. You know, he's already done enough damage to his body. Uh, but it's if you don't take care of your body, who's going to take it for you? Who are you going to blame? Are you going to blame me if I say, hey man, weed is bad for you because it got pesticides and you do this to you? You know, the guy that was here was calling me a anti-marijuana guy. I said, oh, just don't do drugs. I mean, I've drank before, beer, liquor, back in the day when I was in my prime, when I was younger, but now it's like I have to stay away from it. I have bottles of tequila, bottles of brandy. I got some Crown Royal that I haven't even touched because, I have to take care of myself. If I don't take care of myself, who's going to take care of me? Good morning, Sister Jacqueline. How you doing? I hope you're doing great. And we got Corn on the Cob guy here again. Bye bye, Corn on the Cob. He sure likes popping into my live feeds. I wonder if the corn on the cob that he eats is got pesticides, or if he keeps it in his room. I wonder if in his house. I wonder if the roaches get on it. That if he watches the corn or not. Yeah. The roach. I think the roach is enjoying the corn on the cob more than he does. Yeah, man. So many things in this world that can affect us. I don't know, man. He's kind of sick, man. He always talks about corn on the cob, and then he talks about cucumbers or pickles. But now all of a sudden he likes talking about corn on the cob. I wonder what's the next vegetable he's going to be talking about. That guy got some issues. I can fix that. That's something that the way he got raised, that it's all mental. He got mental issues. I'm just saying, man. If this guy I don't know what gender he thinks he is. Maybe he thinks his gender corn on the cob. I don't know. But for some reason, he talks about corn on the cobs. He talks about he likes eating corn on the cob the long ways. I don't know. I don't know how he eats corn on the cob, but actually, after the way his teeth are, smoking that, we have a person here, there's a marijuana enthusiast. So this guy is a meth enthusiast that I don't know how he eats corn on the cob when he got rotten teeth. That if he's eating corn on the cob, that his teeth are going to break off while he's eating corn on the cob, because he's got cavities from all the chemicals in the meth that he's smoking. Yeah. I understand that guy. I don't know how old he is. I think he's way younger than me. But man, he looks old. because he's not taking care of himself. He's not doing nothing physical to keep his body active, to keep his body in some kind of way, uh, working on his body to stay in shape. I don't think he's even going for walks or runs. He looks way older than his age. He's probably like 32, 35, but he's looking like he's like 55 or 60 years old, because he's not taking care of himself. Yeah, I'm 55. I'm 55 years old. I've done lived my life, but at the same time, I've taken care of myself to the best of my abilities. You know, I mean, he can do it, but he has to let go of a lot of things. One of the things that we have to do is, in order for him to think positive, he will have to change his ways. He will have to stop being a troll, first of all, because that brings a lot of negativity into him. Then we have to get rid of the fetish he got with corn on the cob, or pickles, or whatever gender he thinks he is, and do something about it. Make anything negative to a positive. Because if he's not doing nothing for his body, later on his body's going to shut down on him. You know, if you don't do nothing about it right now. I'm just being honest, man. Like, he'll be like, later on when he's like 43, I don't know why I'm in the hospital. I don't know why what I need to get surgery because I'm gonna have a heart attack. Well, because you never did nothing physically to keep your body going. Being active, physically active, reverses certain things. It reverses heart attacks, reverses many things that can happen to you if you stay active. You got to do something, some kind of physical activity. And I'm not talking about eating corn on the cob now. I know that's you, you probably have buckets of corn. I mean, I know corn on the cob could be good, right? When you put some butter on it, a little bit of salt. Oh yeah, like the Macho Man. Oh yeah, some corn on the cob from the fields, freshly plucked. Put it in the pot, boil it, and then you put some butter, some salt. Oh yeah, that's some good corn on the cob. It's healthy, but what's your name likes eating it the long ways. Instead of eating it sideways, he likes eating it the long way. So I don't know how the hell he does that. You could always take the corn off the cob with a knife, put it in a little bowl, mix up but you gotta be careful with the cholesterol. Can put too much salt. I mean, uh, yeah, corn on the cob is pretty good. Throw a turkey leg, roasted turkey leg with that on the side. Oh my God, that's a meal right there. Yeah, I'm thinking, oh boy, probably eat the turkey leg the same way he eats the corn on the cob, the long ways. Yeah, he's built different. He's Shrek's cousin, man. How you doing, Zelaya Cylinder? Yeah, he's got to play that song, man. Uh, and he's to get those old video recorders with a song. Let's get physical, physical. Or you could put on Richard Simmons doing the Richard Simmons workouts. You'd probably be having a corner cop right there by him. Yeah, Walkmans. Oh, shoot. I don't know, man. Hello, donkey. I remember people with the Walkmans. And then they had the CD players, but the Walkmans, or the people with the big old boom mics with the parachute pants. Ding, 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 trying to break dance and stuff. That's back in the day. All you young ones in here probably don't know about that. Those are good old times. At least the break dancers were doing something active. You know, moving around, spinning around on their head, on their back. Yeah, we started all that. I mean, there was already rappers doing all that, but Michael Jackson was the one that started out with the parachute pants. I'm thinking it was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, and then you had those guys, Turbo, the break dancers, that move all crazy. Those guys were bad. You know, you see all these people mimicking the moves that they would do, but Turbo, the guy named Turbo, was bad. He could move. Temptation got me, y'all. But that's okay because I drink my medicine in a moment. Yeah, I'm talking to you about diabetes is bad for you, and here I am. A little piece of candy won't hurt. I didn't eat it all. I left some of it in there. Yeah, there's so different kind of styles of dancing. Uh, they've been making some moves where it looks like they're walking, but they're floating in air. That one looks crazy right there, where they're moving a certain way with their feet, and it looks like they're floating in air. No, it's a Milky Way. Yeah. I mean, some people will get motivation through music. But you see, the bad thing about it, when the time of the Walkman, some of the music had hidden messages in there. That's what people don't know. I'm going to remind you. Uh, I had a friend that was always running. He was always jogging. He could run real fast when he had the Walkman on. So I said, "Man, this guy's good at running. I'm gonna talk to him to join the track team." He joined the track team, and the first race he didn't do too well because he was running with his Walkman. Then a couple of months later, after that, the music he was listening to had hidden messages in there where he tried to take his life listening to a Walkman because the metal music he was listening to had hidden messages there, kind of like satanic messages, and he almost took his he attempted to take his life. Now you have Bluetooth. You don't have to. You just put the things in your ear. You have the Bluetooth now. Times have changed, man. I remember using the telephone booth to make a phone call. They put a quarter in there or 35 cents. Now they don't even have those no more. They're extinct. Hollywood, Blockbuster, extinct. Drivings are in some locations are extinct. Uh, a lot of things are extinct. They don't exist no more. Thank you, Mohanad. Yeah, a lot of things. Remember those old cellular phones that looked like walkie-talkies? The girls in school in the 80s with this big old freaking walking around before before there was even cell phones. I was in Germany after the war. They deactivated a unit, which means that everybody's going to different locations, and all my brothers in arms, they were like, "Hey man, how are we going to get in contact?" And I just looked at them and said, "I think in a couple of years we'll have a certain technology that we'll be able to contact with each other." And there, we found each other through Facebook. After so many years, right? I found a lot of my friends that were in the military, and then some found me through Facebook. Uh, but before Facebook, what was the other one? I never had the other one. There was another. It was kind of like Facebook. I don't even if it exists, but it was before Facebook, where people can communicate. I just can't remember the name of it. Anybody remember the name of that other uh, MySpace? There you go. Does that still exist? MySpace, or is it another forgotten thing? Doesn't exist. Yeah, I think Mohammed might be Mr. Corn on the Cob. We're talking about your corn on the cob. I think he might be corn on the cob. I'm not. That's what I'm thinking it is. I think corn on the cob graduated fifth grade, and after he graduated fifth grade, he was done with school. He said, I'm already graduated. I was so smart, I graduated at fifth grade." So I got my little certificate to prove it that I graduated already. The Motorola Flip. Yeah, I think what was the other one besides Motorola? Verizon? Well, not Verizon. It was a different company. And I bought some phones off of them, and the phones sucked. They wouldn't work right. I just can't remember the name of the. It had two S's in the name of it. The Nokia's. I think it was like a Nokia or some kind of phone like that. It had like a little antenna sticking out. It wasn't a flip phone, just buttons. And we talked about a lot today, about all kinds of crazy stuff. But I hope y'all enjoying the conversation that we're having. I know there's probably people from different uh, times in life, some old school, some in between. I don't know the proper names that the government try to label us as. Uh, Now, a lot of the technology we have, I can be talking to y'all here, and they could be seeing my conversation through here, the government, because they can do that. They have that kind of technology. We could be watching TV through our television, and they can see us through the satellites. They can track us through our phone. They can know your every move by the chips that are in the phones, so they can track you that way. They know where you're at. Uh, they be following you, especially if they see you as a threat, right? Being an ex-veteran and stuff like that. I've always run into people following me that work for the government, but I just ignore them. Walkie-talkies, short phones. Thank you, Delina. Yeah, we're supposed to go to a dance I think this coming weekend or next weekend. I just remember what day it is that we gotta go for Father's Day. When is Father's Day? It's is it this weekend? Father's Day? I think it's next weekend, Father's Day. We're supposed to go to a dance for Father's Day. Oh, this coming weekend. Then you got the 5G towers that is sending signals and affecting people a certain way where not just the people are getting sick, but the creatures that are out there living in the woods with the signal the 5G tower is sending. There's creatures that are being affected by it. The animals are being affected by it. They set up all the 5G towers. If you don't know this, during the time of the COVID, they went all around the world setting up the 5G towers, setting them in place when the COVID was in place. That we were supposed to go out at a certain time and stuff like that. They wanted people to stay home. That's when they set up the 5G towers. So that'll tell you something by itself right there. There's something ain't right. And you have the COVID, and then they go do this in secrecy, setting up all the 5G towers everywhere. I've heard of where people have gotten too close to the 5G towers, and certain thing happens to them as a form of radiation, you know. Or if you put your cell phone too close to you, it can affect you. It messes with I guess, your brain waves. So I suggest to you, if you go to sleep, make sure your phone is off. Don't leave it on, or how people watch a movie or you're on YouTube. Make sure you shut it off before you go to sleep. Thank you, Ivy, Sister Ivy. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are in place, and then you got the chemtrails that the the Air Force jets live in the sky that's affecting people also. Water supplies. I don't know what's even in the water anymore. The water from a lot of is it fluoride in it or whatever the chemical they're using in it. You know, it's just a lot of things that can affect us. But yes, check out the fluorite. Check out the short reel that I created, brothers and sisters, because we're talking about all the things that man made is done that, that's affecting us. Uh, uh, but look at the short reel so you can see the spiritual things that are around us that can affect us. Check out the short reel if you can. Uh, Check it out. The short reel I created yesterday. Go to the short reels and you're gonna see me walking on a trail by the woods, and it was in a because I've already known this that the ultraviolet rays of the sun can break the cloak of something that's in spirit or disembodied form. So I went out there, and as I'm walking, you can see right beside me something looking at me. It looks beastly. Then as I'm passing beside it, it's got its mouth open. It looks like it's got a tongue, but it's not in the flesh. It's in spirit form. So I created the short reel so people could see that there are spirits are amongst us, or something that things that are in disembodied form are amongst us. And I made the short reel yesterday. I was thinking about doing more of a close up of it so you can see the face even better. But I just wanted to show you the full short reel from the full video part of it, right? Where you can see it right there beside me. And it was a ultraviolet rays of the sun that broke the cloak. There's Corner in the Cup again. He says, your wife looks like a man needs to shave. I call him out and got kicked out of his lice. I don't know. I don't know. I think High Rod is Corner in the Cob. And he's out of here. Bye. Yeah, he's nothing. He's got his own little group, but I'm not even going to say his group because all he does in his group is ask for money. He's kind of like a panhandler slash con artist. So all he wants in his group is he begs for money. He don't work, and he wants people. He begs for money. That's all he does. Begs for money. How you doing, Robert Longoria? Yeah, Corner the Cop guy. He's got a face that only a mother will love. Just put it that way. He's not a good looking guy. He's not a good looking guy. Uh, and he still lives with his mother. And I think he's already up there in age, still living with his mother and not working. It's crazy, man. I don't know how this guy expects to get through life. You don't want to work. You know, how do you want to do things or have things in life when you don't want to work, but you want other people to feel sorry for you and you beg for money? It's crazy. I'm glad you're safe, and thank you, Jesus Christ. that you're still here. No, I don't think mobile homes have basements, man. As far as I know, he lives in a mobile home or a shed. I don't know. And he's got roommates. The roommates are the roaches because he keeps his shed dirty. I mean, shit, for all I know, he might be living in the outhouse. It's probably what talks about corn on the cob. If he's living in the outhouse, he's seeing all the corn on the cob remains in the outhouse. Maybe that's why he talks about corn on the cob all the time. But enough about that guy. Nah, you need to get out of that violent relationship. You need to be with somebody like that. Uh, that's mental and physical abuse. You know, you know. And then he expects you to feel sorry for him after he did you dirty like that. Hell no. Nah. You just gotta stay away from the guy. I mean, you can forgive him to be good with Jesus Christ. You just can't forget what he did, and just move on forward in your life. Yeah, I mean, you have to forgive individuals to maintain your love foundation, but just because you're forgiven don't mean you have to associate with them. That's good, Sister Delana. You gotta protect your love foundation. Don't want to be in a situation where you got vengeance or you want revenge because that's not a good thing. You have to protect your love foundation. And sometimes when part of that is to let go of people that are a bad influence in your life. You have to let go of those people in order for you to continue your life with a love foundation. Sorry to hear that, Wolf, that happened to you. What she hit you with a huarache? I mean, what kind of mentally abused me? I mean, was there like physical abuse involved also, or just mental, like as in telling you you're not gonna amount to anything and all this kind of stuff? Well, sometimes mothers they know what they have. So if you said it's mental, she probably would tell her certain things. Maybe she was trying to guide you in your way, in your own way, but you were being hard headed, right? Because it happens. I know I used to be hard headed, where because I was a boy, so sometimes I wouldn't listen. So she would say certain things to me, you know, trying to guide me the right way. And sometimes some of the things that were said were harsh, or physical abuse. I wasn't listening. I got a whooping. Just be, just because of that doesn't mean that she was bad. It just I was hard headed, a hard headed kid. I'm gonna lie. Sometimes I deserved to be spoken the truth too, or getting a whooping because I was being a bad kid, not listening. No, I was being a kid trying to be a grown up, and that's why our parents are there to guide us. Oh, I see. Generational curses. Uh, what bonds a strong man and a strong man or a strong woman will be the people in charge of the home, right? What bonds them? These unseen forces that bonds them. If they can bond the people in charge of the household, then they can bond everybody else. In which, if just bad things are being spoken of and being shown to the next of kin, that's all they're going to know. So somebody's got to break the cycle, and I believe it's you that got to break the cycle and say, I can't be like they were. Cut the any negative ties, and you cut the bondage, the generational curse, right? And you move forward in your life in a positive way with a love foundation. ¿Qué te vas, corazón?
Yes.
I love you. Have a good day.
I know.
Oh, it's ready PG, ready PG. Ah, se me olvidó. Bye, darling. Oops, sorry about that, guys. We got a rated PG going on here. We're trying to keep it civilized. She going to work. Rated PG. Yeah, she'll be going to work early in the morning. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, I don't want to keep y'all too. Some of y'all probably going back to sleep. Uh, I most likely have to get a little bit of rest because I have to take um, my dog Rocky to the vet. I don't know if I'm taking him today or tomorrow, but I definitely have to get some rest. Thank you. Yeah, I got my hair done this past weekend. My beard done also. There's a barber college that they go to school. They only charge $7 for a haircut. I tried them out for the first time, and they did a pretty good job. Uh, they do fades, so I'm thinking I start going there. Like, try once I feel some hair on my sides, or I need a haircut. I'm just gonna go. And for $7, you can beat that. And I always give them a tip. Wrestle cattle? No, I don't wrestle cattle, man. Sorry. Probably could if I had to. Well, it got postponed till next month now. I won't be doing that till July because I said that the doctor had to go on vacation. Is going on vacation, so they postponed it for another month now. So I don't know. That's a VA for you. Yes, I would be placing some more short reels and more pictures. I'm thinking about creating some of the pictures. I'm gonna take a closer look at the DDN, how it looks. Because like I said, they always don't look that way. They look different every single time. Because some of them look like they're werewolf, and some of them look like they're uh, like Bigfoot. Some of them look like they're trolls. Some of them look like they're like they just take different manifestations. Uh, I have so much footage that I got off the 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 video that I made 2 days ago that I just want to take my time, work on it, and then put it out there so people could see. You know, take my time with it. Don't put it all out at once. Yes, I was just playing around. I was just joking around, and she was laughing because I said, "Oh, hey, this is a rated PG show." We got somebody named Juicy Jumbo from Tennessee. How you doing? Sorry about that, Chu Perez. It's they probably were raised a certain way also. Uh, I remember a lot of things like that. It's like this. We can remember things that happened to us, but we have to forgive because I feel sometimes, or should I say, most of the times, that if our parents had a spiritual opening, which they had unforgiveness, maybe some hatred or vengeance in them that they wouldn't speak about, that could have been a spiritual opening for them to get used that way, to plant negative seeds of violence, right? So I would suggest to you, forgive them, right? Uh, and as you forgive them, then you'll understand that sometimes uh, that our parents were being used by something else to plant a negative seed. So you have to pluck out those negative seeds and tie bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ. Now, as a matter of fact, let's pray right now because I remember a lot of things, and sometimes when you go through something dramatic, you put it in a little a door and close it. You know, throughout your life when you're a kid, all the way up to a certain age. So right now we're gonna pray, brother Shui. We're gonna play right now, just in case there's any other negative seeds we're forgotten about. Heavenly Father, this time I would like to pray for my brother Chewy, for everybody else that has experienced something dramatic, even myself. We would like to say that we forgive the people that come up against us in a negative way. We tie, bind, and rebuke any negative seeds being planted. We tie, bind, and rebuke any unclean or demonic uh, disembodied spirits that were causing this at that time of what we were going through. And as we forgive, Heavenly Father, we would like to replace any negative moments with love, with the love foundation, uh, as we forgive the people that come up against us in a negative way. This I pray in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. That's how we overcome anything negative. We have to overcome it through a love foundation, brothers and sisters. Through a love foundation. It's like I've had people tell me, you're weak because you have a love foundation. You're weak because you talk about forgiving. You know, we're not about that. We're not made that way. We handle business a certain way. But if they only knew that love foundation is the most powerful, should I say, the most powerful force in the world is the love foundation. Everything else that has to do with anger or fighting is setting you up for failure. It weakens you. Yeah, you're not gonna come out of it, you could say, alive if you work through a love foundation. You will. So when you do the opposite, do you think it's some kind of power because you've been through something, you want to fight like this, and you're going to find out very rapidly that a love foundation is a lot stronger, especially when you're trying to fight like this with unseen forces. Well, what are you going to hit if you can't see what's attacking you spiritually? What are you going to hit? You're going to get mad and swing wildly and get mad? He's just gonna be laughing at you. Uh, and he said, "Well, man, this guy is easy prey. He don't know how to fight spiritually, so they're gonna mess with you. They're gonna push you around, shove you around, torment you, because basically what I'm saying is you can't fight negativity with negativity because negativity is always going to win. The only way you're going to be able to fight the form of negativity is through a love foundation. Truth. You could be a boxer, you can swing as much as you want to. How are you going to hit something that's in disembodied form? You can't. Yeah, shadow boxer, your own shadow, you can't. That's a disembodied form. The only way you're going to be able to fight it is through a love foundation, through Jesus Christ. That's you. Tie, bind, and rebuke to Jesus Christ. That's the key. Trust me, man. Any man-made weapon. I could have the tank I was on with a 120 millimeter, 120 mic, Sable heat rounds. I could have the 50 cal rounds. I could have 240 cal rounds, M16s, 9 mils, grenade launchers, and all that would be useless fighting the spiritual war of the unseen, of the things that I speak of, like on the short reels. That you can't hit something, destroy something that's already dead. The only way to fight that is spiritually, with the love foundation, through Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's what happens. They're just like when I went into Degen out there in combat. You can't shoot the Degen; it's already dead. The only way to fight that is spiritually, is through Jesus Christ. That's how you fight. Well, there's sometimes you have to fight physically against something that's coming against you physically, right? I'm just letting you know that when you do fight physically, you can be angering too much because that's a spiritual opening. You can have hatred in your heart because, I mean, anger, hatred is the same thing. It's a spiritual opening. You have to go into some kind of prayer because when you start witnessing the disembodied spirits that are around, like for example, the Degen or the DDN, the Legion, uh, uh, shapeshifter skinwalkers, you can't fight them physically. Let's talk in perspective about this. I hear it all the time from the cryptic community, where a guy says, "I took an oath that I'm gonna go over here to the LBL and kill the dogman from the LBL. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I got all these weapons. I'm gonna go kill the dogman of the LBL." And to me, I would say to him, so how can you kill something that is not of the flesh, but is demonic? Till this day, he keeps on saying the same thing, and he has not killed a dogman from the LBL because it's demonic in nature. The only way you're going to be able to fight something like that is spiritually. So if your mentality, you put in your mind that you're going to go kill, what is kill? That's a spiritual opening, because you're going to go try to do some harm to something that you think it's real. That's a spiritual opening. Just killing something in itself out of cold blood, right? Is straight up a spiritual opening to get spiritually attacked. But some of these people, because they don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, or don't want to know Jesus Christ, or things that the people that have love in the heart or that believe in Jesus Christ are weak. No, we're stronger than you. We can overcome what you're trying to fight or destroy. We can fight it spiritually through Jesus Christ. Bottom line. And if such a thing existed and if it was real, then you would have a body by now. You know, you would have a confirmed kill by now. So when you're saying all these things to build up like you're on a hunt, on a crusade to kill something that's supposed to be in the flesh, and you still haven't done it. I mean, I know when I went to combat, I said we're gonna be fighting the Medina Republican Guard, and we're gonna fight them in this location. We went to the location and we fought flesh against flesh, right? What happens? A lot of confirmed kills, a lot of dead bodies. All I'm saying is, when you say these things, you try to pump yourself up like you're some badass, and you haven't killed anything, you know. It's any dog, man. It's because it's not in the flesh. It's demonic being. The only way you're going to be able to overcome it is through Jesus Christ. By binary rebuking it through Jesus Christ. That's the only way you're going to be able to fight it. And he knows this. So he's playing you. He's pulling you deeper and deeper into the woods. And unfortunately, the more you go into the woods, eventually it's gonna is gonna attach itself to you, and you're gonna start having all kinds of physical ailments because you're out there with hate in your heart because you want to kill. That is gonna overcome you, and it's gonna defeat you by making your body fail, because you're leaving a spiritual opening, because you're going in there with anger, you're going there. But the only thing maybe you might go is there with no fear, because you say you're going to go destroy this creature that's out there. But if it's demonic of nature, then he's got you where he wants you, and he could take you out at any given time. I'm just being honest, brothers and sisters, because I hear a lot of people in the crypto community that say they're badasses. Everybody, I used to be in the army. I was our unit was, you could say, badasses. We were the front line. Normally, the people on the front line are the first ones to go in combat. We all survived, right? I'm just saying that what they're dealing with, the only way to overcome it is through Jesus Christ. Binary Beacon Jesus Christ. And some of these people that don't want to have a relationship with Jesus Christ, because it's not that they don't want to, is that by them searching and being out there, it's got bondage over them already. It's already got them where it wants them. So at any given time, it could take them out, right? The reason they're using the people this way, it's using them because of the belief factor. It wants them to continue to spread the word that the dogman is flesh and blood, the Bigfoot is flesh and blood, or any cryptid is flesh and blood. Why? For the belief factor. So the demons could have jurisdiction over the people that are believing in them. That's exactly what's happening in the cryptid community. I'm just being honest, man. You don't believe me? Check out the short reels. You're gonna see check out my short reels here on YouTube or under HCS on TikTok. I have a lot of short reels where this disembodied beings are around us, and I'm capturing them on film, on camera, putting my spiritual evidence out there. I'm actually capturing something, right? You hear me fighting spiritually against them in some of my videos where I'm time binding and rebuking. I'm actually putting evidence out there of that they're around us in disembodied form. And that what people are witnessing, what they think is a cryptid is not really a cryptid. It's something that's demonic in nature. They can make, they're dangerous, man. You know, when people talk about our government is making a super soldier, our government is using the DNA and making a super soldier. No, this super soldier that you're speaking of has been created a long time ago, and it's called the DDN. That were created by the Watchers. Those are disembodied demonic Nephilim. Nephilim are destroyed, their bodies remain, and those are it's DDN, demonic in nature, that are causing all the chaos and havoc around the world. Oh, you're welcome, brother Wolf. Trust me, when I ran to what I ran into Elms Grove, I quickly found out that it wasn't something that was in the flesh. I had equipment to take out something that was in the flesh. When I typed binary rebuke in Jesus Christ's name and it disappeared right in front of me and there was a puff of white smoke and it smelled like sulfur, I knew what I was dealing with. And it wasn't a flesh and blood creature. It was a demonic being. That's why I created spiritual encrypted encounters before spiritual encrypted encounters, positive spiritualists. That's why I originally started it. And a lot of the people from the community came at me in a negative way because I'm bringing the spiritual aspect of how to fight this beings. Plus, I'm bringing Jesus Christ into the equation because we have to do everything through Jesus Christ. So a lot of them came at me in a negative way because some don't believe in Jesus Christ. Some of those members that are there belong to cults. So we got the corn and the cob cult from Oklahoma because they worship other things. So imagine getting attacked from Christian community, getting attacked by cults, but that's normal for me, because of the works that I do. So I know when I say something, there's always going to be somebody saying something negative towards me, or trying to make me look like a bad guy when I'm just speaking in truth and trying to awaken my brothers and sisters, uh, for them to be ready, spiritual ready, to fight the good fight. If you love your children, your next of kin, well, we have to train them. We have to let them know what to expect for when it comes to the unseen, not to fear, not to give them power through belief, not to anger, but to overcome them through love and through Jesus Christ, and to forgive. Because that, by having unforgiveness, that could be a big spiritual opening where they can attach themselves to us. That's where generational curses happen. It says, halls. Sorry to hear that about your brother. Yeah, we just have to make our own path in life. We can't blame those before us that were guiding us because you don't know what they were going through, or there was other forces working to trying to derail your path in life. Because I went through a lot of things that you went through, Brother Chewy, in that manner, which times where I would get beat, I could see that the spirit that of my mother wasn't my mother. That it was, I've always been able to see spiritually. There was something else working through my mother that it found that spiritual opening, and it used her. Sometimes she don't even remember what happened. So that by itself was letting me know a lot. Was yeah, when you get beat, whether it's with a broom, with a frying pan, with a water hose, uh, however, blows, fist. That's when I started noticing that I believe my mother was being spiritually attacked by something. And it was my mother that was coming at me in a negative way, you know, through violence, abuse, physically. But I noticed, you know, that it was something else. So when it would start happening, that she would start changing her demeanor, what I started doing is using love, a love foundation. And when I was using the love foundation, whatever was trying to afflict my mother would depart, would leave, and my mother would stay normal. That's why we have to forgive our loved ones, because there's other forces that work behind the veil that do those works. And that's what I've seen. And that's what I witness nowadays. People that I run to, whether when I was working, the guy that came in a negative wave, I could see the unclean spirit in him. And I said, man, this guy has never come at me in a negative way at all. He was a manager. He's always been nice to me. And there's just days just going off on me. And I'm able to see the unclean spirit in him. And I say, God bless you, man. And the spirit leaves. The unclean spirit leaves and he says, hey, God bless you too, my brother. You know, it's kind of like he wanted me to react in a negative way. Argue with the guy. I didn't. I said, God bless you, brother. And the unclean spirit took off out of him. And he said, hey, God bless you too, brother. You have a nice day. We started working. I'm telling you, the power of love is awesome. When you say God bless you, you could say I love you. Or you show some sign of love. Whatever's there flees. Anything negative flees. I've seen it at restaurants. When I go sometimes to eat breakfast, I could be sitting there, I order my food, and next thing you know, there's a lady sitting at the next table, and she's looking at me weird with her eyes kind of rolled back white and just looking at me, staring at me. So I'll start praying the Our Father, or I'll say it within myself. I type bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. By the time I look up, the lady's not even sitting there no more. She's gone. But those are the things. And I don't want to freak out the people from the restaurant, so I don't literally say I type bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. But I say it within myself spiritually, spirit to spirit, right? And this when she leaves, she departs. Uh, but if I have to do it in public and say some time better rebuke you and Jesus Christ into somebody that's really something has full control of them, I will. I've done it before. You have a good one, Jacqueline. I've been doing afternoon light feeds also, but I don't know about today. Thank you, brother Chewy. Uh, I mean, just put it this way: when we were small and we were born, we were created out of love. Our mothers, they took care of us, they nourished us. When we were small babies. So all that was out of love. Now anything else that happens after that, We can't judge that. We can't judge our parents a certain way because we're not to judge nobody. But there are certain things that I speak of what I capture on my videos. Those are the ones that cause chaos and division. Those are the ones that are going into people unseen because they have the ability to possess, right, or attach themselves to people and use people in that way to make a negative imprint in your life. That's what we have to forgive. Just like Jesus said on the cross, God, don't forsake them. They don't know what they do. What is he saying? Don't forsake them. They don't know what they do. That's saying that all the people that are around there were being demonized. And he's saying that the vessel didn't know what it was doing because all the people were being demonized. That's why I said don't forsake them, because they didn't know, because they had no control of what was happening. Something else had control of their vessel. No difference when you heard people committed suicide. You know, it's a form of possession. They enter the body to destroy the vessel to collect the soul. Uh, it's not the person's fault. It's just that they might have had a spiritual opening, and this unseen forces used that spiritual opening and destroyed that host. So we always have to keep everybody in prayer, even those that people say give up in life, and which unnecessarily, it's other forces that are doing that. So we have to pray for everybody, even those that die in that way, because we don't know what was the cause behind all that. Normally, there's, like I said, this DDN demonic that cause all that, for things like that to happen in that way. Yes, season 3, episode 2, or yeah, season 3, episode 2. Some people call it Terror in the Woods. Yes, this was haunted. Season 3, episode 2. Terror in the Woods. But I think that they said it sometimes. It was this one haunted and Terror in the Woods. So, but it's the same. Season 3, episode 2. Terror in the Woods. I just want to say thank you for everybody that tuned in early in the morning. I've been going on for 3 hours. I want to say thank y'all. Uh, I will be placing some more pictures on my Facebook group. What I'll do is I'll create some short reels and place them on the short reels here on YouTube also, and on TikTok under Abe Cias. I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in, and God bless every single one of y'all. In saying that, everybody have a beautiful, blessed day. If you want to drop some comments after the video, I'll respond to it. No problem, nature. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day, and God bless every one of y'all, your families, and your friends. Peace out, everybody.